Ready. Play.
He goes for the same serve again down the tee, and then he just absolutely fires that forehand with insane pace.
Yeah, that was another Del Potro-ish technique.
Yeah. But I love it because it's not like he's going for the lines or anything. It's these are like safe shots. But he has so much acceleration and such good timing, and it just sounds very different coming off of his racket. Oh, that's a beautiful volley. I love how he got low for it and got underneath the ball and really good net approach. He now has 5 championship points.
Yeah, I mean, now you gotta think it's over more or less when he has 5 championship points, but let's see what Fran can do.
Yep. Let's see. Fonseca's going to go for the backhand line, and he now has. Okay, well, does really well to stay in the point. And wow, on the final forehand, he's going to finish with an absolute corker and just crushes that ball. Falls to his knees on his back, clay all over his back, as he has done it. The first of many titles, surely, for this brilliant player. And yeah, I mean, it didn't come without its tough labor, this week, right? Three setters. This was certainly really challenging at the end just to get over that line. Didn't had 2 chances to serve it out, but then he just plays a phenomenal tiebreak and didn't put a foot wrong. Wins at 7-1.
Yeah, definitely like played until serving for it, he just played the match, the situation, the opponent very well in the sense that okay, this was not Fran's best day at the office, not at all. But Joao made sure to make a lot of returns in play. Like I wonder if this was also caused by what happened in the Navone matchup where he had to do it. And it's similar with Fran, who's like not using his first serve at all here, just basically using it as a point starter. And of course, there's that nervy finish. You see a lot of hesitation in how he's approaching these 5-4-6-5 games. But there's nothing of that in the breaker. The breaker is just winners left and right. And yeah, basically this time he's like so quick to decide that I'm going for this ball and I'm gonna just like wrap it up every single time he chooses perfect. I don't even remember what point he lost in the breaker, but yeah, I mean obviously like 3 or 4 amazing winners in that one, and it's definitely ahead of the on the trajectory of tennis development. Joao Fonseca is doing very well right now.
He's on that same similar type of curves. Alcaraz and Sinner for sure, winning a title at 18. It's like what Alcaraz did in Umag in 2021, and he beat a series of pretty good players to do it. Echeverry and Sorondo to start the tournament is already pretty well done. Navone made the final last year in Rio, and he beat Fonseca along the way. And he certainly could have lost that match, but the 4 games run that he went on at the very end, and he saved those match points. This will be a tournament to remember for sure for the Brazilian. And yeah, I mean, expectations are big. They're huge. People are just kind of expecting the same linear trajectory that Alcaraz had to continue for Fonseca. Of course, he's still going to take his lumps along the way. He's still going to learn. He still has a lot to learn, but he has very good maturity and poise already. And some of the just also the way he played this final strategically overall, he played it really smartly in terms of not going for too much, in terms of making those second serve returns when he had to, and then turning up the dial in the second set tiebreak when everything was even.
Yeah, I saw a comment on Twitter now which said, I am so glad I got to see him play a challenger because he will never play one again. True. I didn't actually see him playing a challenger, but I did watch him in Ashtori last year. And it might be my last time watching Joao Fonseca live, possibly. But at least I had the opportunity, even to ask him a question as well in the mixed zone. We only got 2 in English, but one was from me, one was from John. And well, yeah, he's just not going to be playing any challengers. Obviously, he's progressed. He's advanced up to 68 in the live rankings, as Sean says. He has the Rio quarterfinal to defend. Let's remember that. So it's like 100 points dropping next week. But obviously, getting 250 here is covering for a lot. And I think that, yeah, it's virtually impossible for him to fall out of the top 100 at any point this year now, even with the Bucharest quarterfinal coming up as well. Which is 50 points. Yeah, I think with these 250, it's obvious he's going to stay there. Now he's got Rio, where he's got a special exempt. Of course, if he didn't get that, he would have had a wild card. Physically, might be pretty tricky to try to go back to back, but if he can just get like 2-3 matches, that would already be a solid showing. And yeah, I mean, he's done his work for the Golden Swing. I think he can like really approach Rio and Santiago with a pretty clear head.
Yeah, and I wouldn't put it past him to win another one of these titles. And coming up in Rio and Santiago, it's going to be tricky. Different conditions, also physically, it was quite a workload that he had this week. But yeah, I think getting to the quarters is pretty good. If he can defend the points that he had last year, that's decent expectation.
He is, of course, the first 2006 born player to claim an ATP Tour title. 2005, I guess we had Yun Cheng Shang last year. Is that the only one? Maybe. Has he played against anybody inside the top 20 apart from Humpert Rublev? Hampered by what? Fields was number 20 at the Next Gen Finals. So that's the only 2 matches he's played against top 20 opposition.
Yeah, he's in Rublev.
I don't think at this point, though, it really matters. Like, we all have eyes,
Is he
right?
going to be in the main draw for Indian Wells? Or was his ranking high enough 6 weeks before Indian Wells starts?
Well, we already have the Indian Wells entry list, so let me
Okay, so
quickly look at
he's
that.
on it then, right? I think
Well, he
should be on
definitely
it.
will be in Miami.
Yeah.
But for Indian Wells, I don't think that's going to be enough.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's I wasn't
Yeah,
sure
he's
because
like pretty deep down the qualifying list, actually. So,
Oh, damn! I would have given him a wild card, but okay.
I mean, they might,
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they do because I think he
Um,
would.
I
So
think Miami is obviously the event that usually does it to like young players
Mm,
from all sorts of settings because of
yeah.
IMG and stuff like that.
Hopefully he gets one for Indian Wells too because I don't know having to play
Um,
qualifying in
it's
this period.
possible. It's possible, but like at the same time, why
Boy,
wouldn't he play
I'm
Indian Wells
confident he'll come
qualifying
through.
and get
I'm
through?
confident he'll come through the qualifying there, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's
I don't think he had a Miami wildcard either in previous years, but I think Miami
he had
should
one
be.
last year.
Well, he won't need one for Miami, but if
Yeah.
he did, I think it would be a lock. Like Miami is actually an event that very often does just give wildcards to young players, even if they're not IMG or like whatever the agencies are. But Indian Wells, I think it's a possibility. Like it's a special case enough. Like it's a case that's special enough for them to make the exception, I believe. Does this make me want to try On Running shoes? If they send them to me for free and I can do like a Twitter review, yes. If not,
Yeah.
definitely not.
By the way, also watching
Also,
Fonseca this week wearing On and looking like perfect in it. It's just like it suits him to the T, doesn't it? Like the colors, like the pink and the black and white, the yellow, and it's all just
there's definitely a theme with the players that they're going for,
yeah,
and I think Fonseca fits that theme. Koboli is probably the one that's like a little bit out of it, but at the same time, maybe you can see it. But like, yeah, Burnett, Shelton, Fonseca, you
yeah.
can see what they're going for more or less, and these players do fit the brand. No Fonseca in Estoril, probably, yeah, he would have to have a pretty poor 2 months now and get eliminated early in Madrid. But if he's like top 40, yeah, I doubt he'll play Estoril. I'm not gonna like fear it though. You probably will, considering that Fonseca is getting all these clicks on social media. But I mean, I've seen Fonseca. I've asked the question to him. I'm fine. I obviously would like to watch him more, but I know that on the Challenger Tour, it's just not going to be happening anytime soon, and probably never. Cubing for Life was asking about what rank do you think Fonseca is going to get? Sorry, there were similar questions like this earlier. Tough to say, but
20 in the world is not looking
20
out of
would be
range.
amazing, right? This year.
Yeah, yeah. If he is finishing the year inside the top 20,
That would be amazing,
I'm at
yeah.
that right now. I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked either, but that would be kind of like the top bar for me. I
Mhm.
think top 10 it's a little too early.
Yeah, top
And
10, I'd be surprised. I mean, he'd need to win. He'd need to win a big title, or something, or a final, or you know,
just make a lot of deep
Masters
runs
final.
at events like this. I don't know, make a slam quarterfinal at least
Yeah,
somewhere. Yeah, I think top 10 is too early. Top 20 is kind of like the top bar, and for now he's on track. Let's just say that, because he's gotten a lot of points already. Won Canberra, won around and qualified for Australia, which I think is like 80 points now. Canberra is 1-5 and now 250 here. How high is he actually in the ATP race? Is it like a top 20 spot for now? Yeah, I think it's easily a top 20 spot actually. Yeah, it's number 13 with this title. 477 points. Just 23 points behind Sonego, who is number 10. So yeah, I mean, he's clearly on track for a top 20 finish. He might fall off at some points. There might be setbacks. I mean, he's so young. There will be setbacks. But yeah, I think top 20 is not a stupid shout. Definitely not. I think it's a possibility. 40-ish would be a disappointment. 30-ish, maybe too. Like seeded for Australia, maybe is like the minimum expectation.
Yeah, 40 would be disappointing now because he's 68 right now. So, and it's only
maybe seeded for Australia is like the minimum target. Let's say.
Yeah. All right. Well, the Golden Swing double is definitely on.
Yeah, seems like Juan Manuel Cerúndolo heard about the Fran loss. He is now 3 set points down to Jaime Faria after leading previously. John is probably following that, considering Jaime Faria is a friend of the show. Ugo Delian also up a set there, and Ugo Carabelli over Barrios Vera. Some very good matches. Rio is going to be next week. Maybe just before we go, actually, it's already 1-1 in the Davidovich-Fokina Kecmanovic final. Okay, that was a rapid couple of sets.
I'm going to be checking out that third set after this.
Yeah, what the hell is that? So yeah, let's do one more thing. What can you tell me about the Fonseca draw in Rio and like how manageable his first few opponents are? First up, he's playing Alexander Miller.
And I think he also has Echeverry in his section.
Mute, Echeverry, and Cerúndolo in his section too.
Oh wow, okay.
In his quarter, Cerúndolo, I guess.
And he's in the same half. Is he in the same half of Zverev? Okay, so then that could be a potential semi. So, okay. And Zverev, apart from Nicholas Jarry, I don't see anybody else that's beating him before the semis. It depends in terms of. I mean, it's good that he's going to be. It's basically the same field as here. It's not too different.
No, it's like 2 or 3 players that are going to be different besides the qualifiers and the wildcards. Yeah.
Actually, you know what would be wild if he plays Mute? That would be something completely different, completely a new test. That could pose some unique challenges. So I would be more excited about that if it happens than Echeverry again. Because like Mute could beat Echeverry in the first round.
Alexander Miller, tough opponent. Just like gritty. Well, he's going to try to grind him down, and we're just gonna have to see if Joao is ready for it.
I think that's where like a win like Navone really helps him, just in the bag, just knowing he can pull out matches like that. Navone and Correa, Gera a little bit lesser to an extent, but still similar.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but if you told me right now if he's gonna win the title,
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I don't think it's
I'm gonna say no too. I wouldn't predict it, but
I don't know where he's gonna go out. But I think it's kind of impossible to do it, just like on a physical level.
I mean, what if he doesn't play until? I mean, it's Sunday right now. He'll probably have to play on Tuesday, actually. So it's
theoretically, I've seen instances where they pushed a first round match to Wednesday, but it's rare in an outdoor event for sure.
Okay, so maybe an extra day of rest would help, and then he comes through Muller in straight sets, or like he would just need to be more efficient than he was this week.
Probably, yeah.
It'll be a new test to manage his body, and I honestly don't care how Rio goes. Like the fact that he wins this, it just takes a lot more pressure off of him. At the same time, there will be pressure though, because he's playing at home. Fans will expect a ton. Tournament organizers will be praying and hoping that he wins every match, and So yeah, I can't say there won't be any pressure. There will be some, for sure,
To
especially
some
after what he
extent,
did
it's a
yesterday.
free hit, but because it's in Rio, because it's at home,
Yeah.
it's not.
Mhm.
Ozan, I cannot translate Fonseca's acceptance speech for the viewers. I already told you I don't know Spanish. I mean, I used to, but I don't. But yeah, I'm not even watching it, so that's also another reason why I can't translate it.
I don't know. Anything else? Larger picture, social media, probably like the mainstream. More of the mainstream fans are catching on to his name and his potential.
Yeah, there's still gonna be people saying that, like, oh yeah, he's not that good because he lost to Jan Choinski in November, but who cares? I mean, we all have eyes. I think that's kind of something I said like 30 minutes ago, and we all have eyes. This title this week doesn't even change my opinion on Fonseca that much, but it was good to see him have to figure out stuff, and like he wasn't perfect at it, but he still had some pretty good moments, and yeah, just showed us a brand of tennis we didn't really see him trying to execute yet. And he was doing pretty well at all this, like, yeah, improvised stuff.
Okay. I think we
I
can leave it
think
at that.
that's, yeah, I think we should leave it at that, definitely. Ozen says that Fran apologized to the crowd for not performing better. That's a shame for him. He hasn't won Buenos Aires, right? He lost the final to Schwartzman, which was also like similar. Well, it was worse. It was like 6-1, 6-2. So
Yeah.
I think that's going to be something on his mind, probably, to win this event at least once during his career.
Yeah.
I think he's won
Definitely could have
Umag,
played.
Bostad, and Eastburn, right?
Yeah, 3 titles. I definitely think he could have played better than he did. Definitely not his best showing for sure in the final, but not the worst either. So
No, but after what he was doing in the last 2 rounds, he would have expected a stronger performance, 100%. Fonseca just like adjusted to the fact that Cerundolo wasn't playing well, and that's that's something that we can definitely praise him for. But yeah. This was not Fran's best day at the office, so it's a shame, and then especially as it means so much for him, clearly. All right, yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. Kecmanovic, Davidovich, Fukina. Let's see that third set, and tomorrow I think is going to be ATP Weekly at a yet to be decided time. Of course, also guys, check out whatever John is gonna get you from Rio today. Anyway, thank you, Vansh, and thank you to everybody in the chat. It was cool to watch this. Well, historic moment with you?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can look back at this, and even 12 months from now, and it'll still stand out, and we'll still have good memories of the whole week, but also this match, the final. It was definitely worth doing, and I'm sure it'll do pretty well in terms of views and engagement. There were already so many comments, so many people coming in the chat, so that was really fun. And yeah, thank you, Damien. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, cheers.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
So the crowd have just gone nuts. They've just realised that Joao Fonseca has won his first ATP Tour title. Unfortunately, the person who lost to Joao is Francisco Cerundolo, and his brother is playing here right now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.